Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's morning ramble. And today I was reflecting on an idea that I first came across in the sort of self-help world. Must have been at least 30 years ago, if not longer, which is the idea that everybody is doing the best they can. And that always sounded like crap to me. Like, I knew I could do better a lot of the time. And so I was very judgmental of myself, and I knew other people could do better in my mind, so I was very judgmental of them. And then when I got into NLP, the idea that there was everyone is doing the best they can given the resources they have available to them in the moment. And I thought, okay, that sort of made more sense to me. That sounded more plausible, more realistic. So then the game became about, well, okay, how do I make sure that I'm totally resourceful, and how do I help other people be totally resourceful so they can do better? And that was helpful, but it didn't seem to do much to the judginess of myself or others. Then I heard Sid Banks, the enlightened Scottish welder, say, everyone is doing the best they can, given the thinking they have that looks real to them. And that, got me. That I could see. If I really think that my life is on the line, then I'm going to do whatever I know to do to protect myself from that threat. And that might involve attacking someone else, that might involve running, that might involve hiding. But kind of makes sense to do. If it really looks to me like I am the most important person in the world, then I'm going to behave like the most important person in the world would behave. It would be weird for me not to. If I really think that if I don't double and triple check the stove in my kitchen, my apartment's going to burn down, then I'd be nuts not to go back and keep checking the stove in my kitchen. And what was interesting for me about seeing that wasn't just the logic of it, the obviousness of it. It was the first time where I really started feeling both forgiveness for myself and others. Because actually we're doing exactly what makes sense to us to do, what we know to do, given the world we think we're living in, the thinking we have. It doesn't look like thinking, it looks real to us. And then this morning, I was listening to my friend and mentor Mavis Karn, and she was saying in a recording that everyone is doing the best they know to do, given what they understand is possible. And that brought on new waves of both forgiveness and compassion for me, both for myself and for others. Because I kind of get, as I look back over my own life, yeah, if I'd seen a better way, I would have taken it. If I'd really seen it in the moment, 10 times out of 10, 100 times out of 100. But I didn't, so I couldn't. And when I have done, I have done. And it struck me that, again, all these memories from my past of things that I still kind of apparently judge myself for. Is, oh, how could I do that? How could I do this? How could I have not done this? But it's really kind of obvious to me that if in those moments I had understood what else was possible, I had seen a better way, I would have taken it. But I didn't, so I couldn't. And it seems to me that's got to be true of everybody else in my world as well. So, in the comment section, what lands for you about this? Can you see yourself and others with more compassion? Is it easier for you to forgive yourself and others for what you've done, for what they've done, for what's happened. When you see that if they'd been more resourceful, if the world hadn't looked the way it looked to them in that moment, if they'd seen a better way, they would have taken it, but because they didn't, they couldn't. So in a really interesting way, there's nothing to forgive. And like I say, for me, there's a whole lot of compassion there, but share what you see. What lands for you about this? Have fun, learn heaps, happy exploring, and I'll talk with you soon.